Turning our attention now to the ASX, here's Matt Birney and Bulls and Bears with the latest public company views and interviews.
Welcome to Bulls and Bears, brought to you today by vanadium developer Australian Vanadium Limited, ASX code AVL. I'm Matt Birney and I'm joined now by the Managing Director of Australian Vanadium, Vincent Algar. Hi Vince.
Hi Matt.
So Vince, how do you describe Australian Vanadium? Are you looking to become a vanadium miner or a vanadium technologist? Where do you sit in the marketplace?
We're going to be an integrated vanadium producer, starting all the way from mining the ore, processing the concentrate and delivering a high purity vanadium product for the battery market and the steel market.
So are you developing technology to do that, or do you consider yourself more of a miner?
We consider ourselves both in that sense, in that we have a very strong technology and processing capability, and we have a very strong technical team and geological team.
On the technology front, I note you recently signed an agreement with US firm US Vanadium. Who are they and what do they bring to the table for you, and what's the guts of that agreement?
US Vanadium are a company that has a long-standing presence in the US from processing secondary byproducts like catalysts into high-purity forms for chemical and battery use. We've aligned ourselves with them because they have a long history and can supply us with the best low-cost technology for the delivery of vanadium redox flow battery electrolyte.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, US Vanadium will supply you technology, A, and B, a supply of vanadium oxide. Is that correct? And if so, where do they get their vanadium oxide from?
Yes, that's correct. And that allows us to build a 33 megawatt hour capacity electrolyte plant here in WA. They get their vanadium from secondary waste sources like catalysts and oil slags, which are very difficult to process normally, and they've got a specialist plant that's been there for over 50 years.
How much will it cost you to set up a vanadium electrolyte manufacturing plant in WA? How will you fund it? And is the plan to get some of the feedstock from your own Gabonintha vanadium deposit in WA, or will it all come from US Vanadium?
At the startup, Matt, we'll be building that with assistance of a manufacturing grant, which we recently won from the federal government. That manufacturing grant was for $3.7 million. We'll contribute $3.7 million and we'll build the electrolyte plant here in WA, along with additional work on battery prototypes and high purity circuits in the plant. Eventually, we'll start the project off using US Vanadium source feedstock, and then we will be producing our own vanadium to feed that plant in the long term.
Vince Algar from Australian Vanadium. Thanks for joining me on Bulls and Bears today. And remember, we're only here to give you information, not advice, which you should of course seek independently. I'm Matt Birney and this is Bulls and Bears.
For more public company CEO interviews, go to the Money page on the 6PR, 2GB and 3AW websites and click the Public Companies tab.